Hi friends, Stacy Robertson here with this week's Tea of the Week. Well, it's iced tea season and I want to share with you one of my absolute favorites that I really love ice. This is a tea that's been around Tea Market for a very long time. It's called Japanese Cherry and it is a lovely green tea full of unbelievable cherry flavor. So I'm going to get some started steeping and then I'm going to tell you all the wonderful things about it. What I've chosen to make for you, I'm going to show you a super easy way to make iced tea by the glass. And this is the way that we do it at Tea Bar. So if you've ever come to the Tea Bar and ordered an iced tea, you have seen us do exactly this. So we are going to make, our glass is 20 ounces, but because a lot of room is taken up with ice, we're making 16 ounces of tea. So I'm gonna get started, and for this, I am gonna use 2 nice kind of heaping spoonfuls of our tea, and this is green tea, so we're gonna steep it in 160 degree water, excuse me. And so what we do, when you're going to make iced tea, if the goal is iced tea, the last thing that you want is a whole cup of 160 degree tea. So we're going to do what I call steep a concentrate. So we've used the full amount of tea. Remember, leaf to water ratio is where you get flavor and intensity of flavor. So I've used the amount of tea leaves that would be for this full quantity of tea, but I'm going to use half of the brewing temperature water so that I steep a concentrate. So this little timolino is great because it makes tea in the very best way that there is, which is simply letting it flow loosely, just like that. And so we're going to let this steep for 3 minutes. And I'll show you how we finish it off. So Japanese cherry is green tea, so it has all the wonderful health benefits of green tea, super high in antioxidants, wonderful immune boost and support, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, wonderful for dental, oral, and gum health, all kinds of wonderful things. And it has a very low level of caffeine. Again, this is a blended tea, so it has the little white pieces that you see are petals of the cherry blossom flower, and then you have the dried cherries inside. And that really gives it a lot of wonderful flavor because you get the brightness from the fruit itself, and then the flower petals really kind of soften it up and make it really well balanced and a nice smooth blend that isn't overly grassy or vegetal. So it's green tea, there's a little hint of that. Steeping it at the proper temperature really keeps that in check so that we don't get anything that's bitter at all. You'll be surprised about how bright and wonderful that the flavor comes out to be. So of course, if you were making this hot, you would use the full capacity of hot water if you were just making a hot tea. But I thought it would be super fun to show you how to make a iced tea simply by the glass. And so this would be perfect for if you're having, like, say, a little luncheon, or to make just for your family for lunch, an iced tea that's lovely that would really complement and go with just about anything that you might want to serve. I think Japanese cherry would be great. And so when it has steeped for the length of time that we like, I love to show people this part. This is how the magic happens. And when the tea is ready and it's steeped for the length of time, you just set it right on top of your favorite glass, and we've got it halfway filled with ice. And then what we like to do, I don't know, have you ever gone somewhere, this is why we do it this way at Tea Bar. Have you ever gone somewhere and gotten a freshly brewed iced tea? A lot of the times, by the time they hand it to you, there's no ice left in it and it can get watered down. So this way, since we've steeped a concentrate, all we're gonna do now is stir like this. And then all of the ice that's going to melt has melted, and we can just top it off and add the rest of our ice and a little more water to it. And that is going to bring it exactly to the right concentration. So making iced tea by the glass couldn't be simpler. And the nice thing about making iced tea by the glass with a green tea is that you can re-steep it. So a lot of the times if you have this, you know, at dinner time, and maybe after dinner time, you'd like another refreshing glass of Japanese cherry, you can go ahead and do the exact same thing. Pour more brewing temperature water right over these leaves and do it again. Here's the cool part about doing that. The low amount of caffeine that is in green tea, you've gotten all of it in that first cup. So any subsequent infusion is always going to be decaf. So that's a nice tip for managing your caffeine intake. So at Tea Market, We like to let you know where it's from. And there we go. Give it a taste. You know, it has just this wonderful hint of sweetness from that fruit and really a distinctive taste. That cherry really comes through. I sure hope you give Japanese cherry a try. It's our tea of the week this week. It'll be $3 for a glass or a cup at Tea Bar and 10% off online at teamarket.com. I'll see you next week with our next tea of the week.